Dragon Ball Heroes is my religion. This fever dream masterpiece might appear to the untrained eye as yet more useless schlock churned out of Akira Toriyama's sweaty 30-year-old tennis shoes. Assuming he plays tennis. One sec. Oh, I guess he doesn't. So it's churned out of his 30-year-old sweaty mangaka shoes. Got him? Alright, look, whatever. To hell with Akira Toriyama. He didn't have anything to do with Dragon Ball Heroes. Oh, it's okay. Shh. There, it's okay. Look, sit over there. I'm sure I'll find something for you to do later in the video. There you go. Who's a good Toriyama-sensei? You are? Yeah, you are. Okay. Alright, so, some of you out there might be wondering where God's gift to mankind, the greatest thing in the history of anything ever, Dragon Ball Heroes, came from. Well, to give you a brief rundown, you know arcades? No? Well, they were these buildings that were everywhere back in the day, filled with gaming machines and other such activities. Kind of like bowling. I like bowling. But over the last couple of decades, they have become increasingly more scarce with the advent of the gaming console, because no one wants to go outside to get their games. Well, except Japan. Not only are arcades still around in Japan, but they are fucking everywhere, taking up multiple floors of numerous street corners. Looking for a manga store? Nope, arcade. Looking for a cafe? Nope, arcade. Looking for a bathroom? Nope, fucking arcade. These places are insanely popular and bring in so much business that sometimes games developers create games exclusively for these places. They don't get a wider release on console or anything. It's literally just this. I have no idea how they managed to do this. Oh, also, this is sort of an aside to what I was saying, but last year I spent 2 months living in Japan, and to this day, I have no earthly idea how business works in that country. I was walking around this tiny street, seemingly hidden away from the rest of the world, and squashed in this tiny street was, and I kid you not, an exclusively Alice in Wonderland themed store that sold, you guessed it, Alice in Wonderland stuff. I peeked my head inside the door and there was like 40 people crammed into this tiny building, scrambling to buy things. Japan, I'll never understand you. But then, in 2010, thanks Wikipedia, Dragon Ball Heroes, the card game, the video game, the arcade game was released. And I kid you not, this game made hella bank. By the end of 2016, the game had sold over 500 million cards, sold separately in toy stores, and made over 50 million yen. That's a lot of yen. You actually place cards you buy at a store on top of this machine in front of you. It's sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Only way more nerdy. And I know this because I watched a fucking YouTube video explaining this shit to me because A, I'm too old and didn't have the first fucking idea what this shit even was. What the fuck is Dokkan Battle? And B, it's only available in Japan. But I hear you clamoring. How did everyone in America and not America learn about Dragon Ball Heroes? That's what I meant, Dragon Ball Heroes. And that's easy. Cutscenes. Fucking hours of the shit. All with the same droning, insufferably catchy theme music. That feels like it loops every 15 seconds. And that shit gets stuck deep inside your head. I wrote this video last week and I'm still humming it. Oh, and speaking of cutscenes, on the first page of YouTube search results alone, Dragon Ball Heroes cutscenes have amassed, and oh, I wish I was kidding, over 71 million views as of writing this video. That's almost twice the views of the Battle of Gods movie that exists on YouTube somehow for free. Good to know my career depends on this flimsy copyright ID system, and that movie exists in its entirety there. And a good defense for that is, well, maybe they haven't had a chance to take it down yet. But then you realize that it's been there for 3 fucking years! But I'm not bitter. Who's saying I'm bitter? You? Fuck off, Akira Toriyama! But yes, there are hours worth of these cutscenes online floating around with millions of views. And all of these cutscenes were animated or at least corrected by Tadayoshi Yamamuro, who was the series director on Dragon Ball Super. And once that show came to an end, and people realized he wasn't returning on the upcoming movie, people were asking what he was going to be up to. Time passed by and people were confused. Until the day it was announced. Dragon Ball Heroes, the card game, the video game, the arcade game, the anime! Otherwise known as Super Dragon Ball Heroes. In May of 2018, it was announced that a Dragon Ball Heroes anime was in the works. And in June, 1 month later, a trailer dropped, featuring old characters in new clothes, new characters in weird clothes, and that fucking song again! The confusing thing about this though was that due to the fact a large portion of the viewers for this trailer were from the Western Hemisphere, they had no fucking idea what this was. Was it a movie? Was it for a game? Super just ended. Is this the continuation of the story? And the short answer to all of those was no. The long answer? No! In reality though, it turned out to be something unlike I had ever seen before. You guys have heard of promotional manga, right? Well, this was a promotional anime, specifically promoting the Dragon Ball Heroes arcade game. And no, I'm not kidding. For God's sake, Yamamuro, you've done stuff like this! What happened? Well, you're gonna find out because you bet your sweet nipples I'm gonna go through every episode released since the first episode's release on July 1st. Mark, there's only 4 episodes out. What? But it's October. You're telling me there's only been 4 episodes? Man, okay. Let's jump into it. July 1st, episode 1. Shut up! Okay, so the rundown of the show in a nutshell is it's 100% not part of the main canon story of Dragon Ball. It sort of floats somewhere in between Dokkan Battle and that show that shall not be named. I know, epic, right? So this episode begins exactly like every other scene that would begin with Goku, Vegeta, and Whis as the focus. Yeah. Whis bodies the two of them easily, because of course he does, and that's when the first weird thing happens. Mai arrives.
I have several questions.
Why is she here? How did she get to this timeline? How did she get to Lord Beerus' planet? Why would she even think to go there? Why does Goku respond to it like it's no big deal?
Oh my!
It turns out that Trunks was supposed to be coming here for training. Why wouldn't he train with himself or with the gods in his timeline? You see, I've already made the first mistake of watching Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Thinking. You're not supposed to think when you watch this show. Why does Goku react so casually?
Oh my!
Why does Mai trust this purple person who is so evil it hurts? How does he know how to teleport? These are all questions you don't have to ask if you don't think. And if you don't think, it's awesome. So, obvious super bad guy, seriously though, just look at him, Fu pieces out, asking them to follow him to the prison planet where Trunks is being held captive. Yeah, I know. But look, it gets worse. This so-called prison planet, man, it's literally a bunch of planets just chained together complete with what looks like Saturn. I'm not even well versed in science and my brain hurts just looking at that. I wonder who has the key. Mark, you're thinking again, stop it. Whee, look at the pretty colors. So, we aren't on the planet 5 seconds and this Goku shows up? Yeah, I don't know either, but believe you me, it gets weirder. The following is a TNM public service announcement. Now, we don't speak about that show on this channel for reasons that should be abundantly... Wait, what do you mean it's not clear? It should be obvious. Oh no, come here, there. It's okay. Look what you did. You made Toriyama-sensei cry. It's okay. Honestly. But yeah, this Goku goes Super Saiyan 4 lunging at our Goku. I mean, I think it's our Goku, or is it a different timeline? Anyways, they fight for all of 1 minute before stopping to take notice of Fu. You know, that obviously evil purple dude with the cliche anime glasses thing. Yeah, him. Well, he makes noises with his mouth for a while, explaining that he was behind all of this, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really matter. Furry Goku's part of the Time Patrol, Fu made this planet, yada, yada, yada. That sort of stuff. Fu used Trunks as bait to lure Goku and Vegeta to said planet. Oh, by the way, you'd think it might have been over the course of a 20-minute episode, perhaps even 2 episodes. It is Dragon Ball after all. Well, it didn't. This whole exposition dump, Goku and Vegeta training, meeting Mai on Beerus' world,
oh my!
And the fight with Super Saiyan Goku on top of the prison planet all takes place in 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten whiplash from watching a TV show before, but this is close. Finally, evil man McChatty bad guy Fu cuts to the chase, having spent 2 of the first 5 minutes rambling about what's going on. He explains that they need to collect 7 Dragon Balls. Yep. They start with 1 and need to take the remaining 6 balls from 6 individual prisoners. All the while, I try to resist the urge of making a grabbing the balls of prisoners joke. And that's pretty much the first episode. Oh, hey, look, it's cooler. Okay, so let's hop into episode 2. Fuck this song! The episode starts with Evil Saiyan Man catching up with Vegeta and Goku, who have decided that walking around is the best way of traveling in this urgent situation. I guess they're walking because Mai's there, but they can carry her. Why aren't they I don't know. Evil Saiyan Man shows up to fight in a body restraint, so that's a thing. Goku goes to punch him, not the furry one, but the Evil Saiyan's black aura touches Goku and turns him evil for the first couple minutes. Huh. Mark, you're thinking again. Stop it. Hey, look, it's Cooler. We learned that this new Saiyan is called Cumber, and apparently anyone he touches turns evil. So more talking happens and Cooler goes golden, because of course he does. He punches evil Goku literally once and charges up a blast in that form. You would think it would destroy both Goku and the prison planet, but it doesn't. It kicks up some dust and knocks Goku down a bit. He's suddenly not evil anymore and perfectly fine. But let's not think about that, because there's still so much to see. Cumber breaks out of his restraints and Mai tosses Goku and Vegeta the Potaro she has in her pocket for some reason. Don't question it, because if you question it, that means you're thinking, hey look, it's Vegito. So that was episode 2. So some things happened and some fighting happened. Let's dig further. I'm not sick of watching it. You're sick of watching it. Shut up, Toriyama. Relax, Mark. It's getting to you. Okay. So episode 3 has the best start to any Dragon Ball anything I've ever seen. Maybe the best intro to anything I've seen in the history of anything ever. Let's break it down. So Vegito is standing there looking all cross, staring directly at Cumber, choking Trunks, who's literally screaming. Vegito stays in that pose looking directly at Cumber while he continues to choke Trunks. This goes on for almost a full minute. I'm not kidding, it's amazing. What happens after that shot though is sort of boring. I mean, this is the best show ever, and I love watching Cooler just stand there having thrown literally one punch in the entire show so far. Oh hey look, Kaioken. Trunks at this time is limping away with the help of Mai. I guess that choke Cumber really did a number on his legs. I don't know. So the evil Saiyan Cumber pulls a Vegeta and throws that big Blutz wave thing ball into the air and continues to turn into a Super Saiyan Great Ape, launching a blast at Vegeta, resulting in them splitting in two again. Their time limit after running out? Whatever will our heroes do? Find out right now. So episode 4 begins, and wouldn't you know it, Cooler is still standing around doing nothing. But hey, Mai can apparently shit Potara earrings, so we won't be short of any fusions in the future. And Jesus Christ, wouldn't you know it, I spoke too soon. Cooler's actually doing something. Sort of. Fu apparently is getting really upset too, because the chains are cracking around the fighters. I'm gonna be honest though, I'm not entirely certain I know what exactly those chains are for, or even what Fu wants besides the opportunity to conduct this experiment. So yeah, to stop all of this senseless chaos and to protect his precious chains, which are important for some reason, Fu destroys Cumber's energy ball moon thing and slashes at him for good measure, causing Cumber to revert back down to his regular size. Yep, that's it. The release schedule for these is sort of irregular. The time between episodes 1 and 2 was a little over 2 weeks, while the gap between episodes 2 and 3 was almost 2 months. So that's not exactly much of a routine you can get into while watching these. But you can always do what I did and just binge them in like half an hour. The total runtime of the 4 episodes, excluding the OPs, is around that. Do I think it's any good? Honestly, it makes my head hurt if I think too much about it, but as a dumb bit of harmless Dragon Ball fun, it's totally serviceable. It doesn't really do anything special, and for me, if I was to look at it objectively, it focuses too much and almost exclusively on the things that people outside of the anime bubble consider Dragon Ball to be about. Random transformations, nonsensical fights, utter chaos narratively speaking. And believe it or not, that's one thing that this man tried to shy away from in writing interesting stories with these characters. These kinds of chaotic moments might be what Dragon Ball is remembered for, but they are not what made the series good or great. With that said, I think Super Dragon Ball Heroes is a good idea to appease that area of the know in the comments down below. I've been Totally Not Mark. Thank you so much for watching.